have been in a reading slump. If you clicked on this video, then chances are you like to read. And if that's the case, then you know the worst thing that can happen to a reader is a reading slump. Because then there's no books that seem interesting, no plot that can hold your attention, and you end up behind on your yearly reading goal. Since none of my books were getting me out of the slump, I decided the best possible solution was to put my trust in some of my favorite booktubers. In today's video, I follow their lead and read their most recent 5-star books in hopes of falling back in love with reading. So the way we're gonna go about this is basically I'm gonna do a little bit of stalking and I'm gonna go to their Goodreads and just like go look at all the books they've read. I'm gonna be finding the most recent 5-star read and basically go buy it and read it, because if they liked it and they rated 5 stars, hopefully I'm gonna also rate it 5 stars. The only rule when it comes to finding their most recent 5-star read, it has to just like not be a part of a series, and also if it's a 5-star read but it's like a genre that I don't normally like, or if I'm not in the mood for it, like I don't know, a historical fiction or something, we're just like gonna be skipping over that because we're trying to get over a reading slump. I'm not trying to get back into one. Okay, so first we're gonna start with Pham because she is the first booktuber that I ever watched. So I did a little bit of stalking, and as of whatever day it is right now, I found that her most recent 5-star is actually a summer romance. Like, it's literally called Summer Romance. I did not have the book in my physical TBR, so I dragged my boyfriend out to Target late last night and we got it. Cue the footage for that now. Hand basket secured. We made it. We gotta look at the new releases, of course. Oh my god. Okay, but the book that we came here for is right here.
Summer Romance.
Ooh. So there it is. First of all, the cover is beautiful. I have never read anything by this author. This is Annabelle Monaghan. I think I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying that right. And this just seems like the perfect summer romance. The back says, benefits of a summer romance. It's always fun, always brief, and no one gets their heart broken. This book is about Allie Morris, who's a professional organizer whose own life is a mess. Her mom died 2 years ago. Her husband divorced her, and her life is basically a hot mess. According to the back, she goes to a hardware store and she finds a man, or rather her dog finds a man and pees on him, and I guess that's the beginning of their romance. So this seems like a perfect little summer romance book. I'm very excited to read it. It also says so she's a single mom, so there's a little bit of a single mom trope. I don't know what other tropes are in this, but I'm so excited. I already started reading a little bit last night. I made it to chapter 2, so not very far, but hopefully we're gonna be putting a dent in this, and I really hope that this is a 5-star read. It'll be so fun. I feel like I haven't had a 5-star read in literally so long, like maybe like 2 months. I have my little coffee right here. Can you tell what my favorite color is? We definitely have a theme going, but let's get into it. I just posted a reel about me starting this book, and the author literally commented on it. I know that's like nothing crazy, you know, like people use social media and stuff, but this is I think the first time that an author has like commented back to me tagging them. I just posted that and she commented, love this. This is set in New York. That's crazy. I was literally just there. I love when books are set in places that I've kind of like been in. Update. So I have been reading this book. I'm about 85 pages in. I'm on chapter 10, which is like not that far in, maybe like a fourth of the way in. For the first 50 pages, I did not love the main guy character, but that's literally just like a me issue. Don't let that discourage you, because I got trust issues. And at the beginning of this, he was just acting like so sketch. Like, I know this is like a romance book and obviously like nothing bad is gonna happen and he's probably like Prince Charming and like that sort of thing. The way that they were explaining this, in my mind, I was like, this guy could be a serial killer because he's charming, he's flirty, they don't know each other, and this girl is like way too trusting for my liking. If any of my friends were doing the things that she was doing when she first met this guy, I would be texting them like, girl, what the fuck you mean? Like, send your location right now in case I have to call the cops. Like, it was kind of sketchy. I don't know. This is a very small spoiler. It's literally like at the very beginning. They said to go on this date. He's like, are you okay with surprises? And she's like, yeah. So then they get there. He's like, meet me, we're gonna take this boat. So they take this boat to another state, and I'm like, girl, be so for real. Like, when a random guy that you don't know and none of your friends know him, and there's no one to kind of like vouch for him. Like, why are you getting on a boat, not knowing where you're going, in the middle of the freaking ocean to go across state lines? Like, be so for real. Especially this one, because she's literally a mom. Like, you have 3 children to look after, Miss Girl. Like, we cannot be doing this. So anyways, that was like my little hold up, because I was reading this and I was like, girl, I'm stressed for you. You could die. You could literally die this way and nobody will find you. Like, you can just throw you over the boat. Anyway, so that's just like me being a little paranoid, being a little untrusting with the male species. But anyways, continuing on, I'm currently in chapter 10 and things are looking a lot better. We're building some trust in this guy, but I'm really excited to keep going with this. I just thought it was so funny. I wanted to share. I don't know if anyone else is like this. Maybe I watch too many true crime shows. That's just like my initial thoughts. I'll keep you guys posted on what else I think of the book. Officially finished Summer Romance. This was so freaking good. Honestly, kind of caught me by surprise because I've never read anything by this author, so I was not expecting it to go as hard as it did. But first of all, do you see how many tabs are on this? Oh my god, so many things to talk about. First of all, the romance was romancing. The title is definitely not misleading. This is literally the perfect summer romance. This girl Ali, our main character Ali, she's kind of going through it. Like, her mom passed away a couple of years ago, her husband is leaving her, and she has 3 kids. So now she's trying to like be a single mom, trying to like figure it out. She's kind of like lost sense of like her identity and doesn't know who she is or how like she's gonna like function. She just kind of feels like a zombie, just like going through life but not really feeling like herself. So this book just takes you through a progress of her just kind of like finding herself again, finding her passions. Obviously she meets really cute guy and he's like really nice, he's really sweet, successful, and very, very lovable. I loved him. He's also like a very considerate type of person, so he kind of gives the same vibe as Justin from Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. If you read the book and you liked it, you should definitely read this because they have like a very similar vibe. The guys are both like golden retriever type of boyfriend. So yes, definitely the romance was good, but also this had so much depth. Like, they talk about so many different things. They talked about what it's like to lose a parent, but like not in a way that makes it all sad and it's just like, you know, you like feel bad. Like, it was just like a very like heartwarming feeling reading this. It talked about life, it talked about motherhood, it talked about transitioning to different areas of your life, and it just like made me feel safe. Now that I'm in my mid-20s, I'm always kind of like stressing about like getting older and what it's gonna be like and who I'm gonna be and like my youth running out, and this just like made me feel so like at peace with it. I don't know how to explain it, but I loved it so much. There's also a bunch of scenes in here that I tabbed that I really like that are about her ex-husband because he is awful and he was like pissing me off the whole time. But you know, every so often, not very often to where it's like a main plot, but like randomly sprinkled into a random chapter, you would get a little tiny interaction where stuff just like doesn't go his way, or like, you know, kind of like somebody like sticks it to him, if that makes sense. And it's so satisfying. I was sitting here freaking laughing, giggling, kicking my feet like, ha, loser, deserved. Like, it was amazing freaking energy. I loved it. It was so satisfying. I'm kind of sad that I started this video with this book because how the hell are any of my other books gonna top this? Like, yes, I know the point of the video was to get out of a reading slump and try to find a 5-star read, but I did not expect the first freaking book to go so hard. I feel like I'm experiencing a book hangover now. As of right now, I would say that this is a 5-star read. I don't know if that's gonna like stay true, because like sometimes I get super excited about a book and then a week later I realize that I forgot like everybody's name and all the side plots and everything like that. But if this stays memorable to me, this is definitely gonna be a 5-star. If not, I could probably drop it to like 4.5. Honestly, like this book cannot get dropped below that. But yeah, it was so good. Definitely read this. Let's move on to our next book. The next booktuber that we're going to be stalking and finding their 5-star read is Larry Reads. I went and I found her Goodreads account. Her most recent 5-star read is actually a book from an author I have never read before, but I've heard amazing things about. So I went ahead and I placed a little Amazon order, and the package is here, baby. I just went and picked it up, so let's open this. The next book that we're going to be trying to read is The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hilderbrand. Oh my god, I'm always struggling to say her name, but it is this one. I have seen so many of her books in so many people's videos. Not necessarily this one, but like she literally has so many. Not gonna lie, when I saw this, I was a little intimidated at first because it looks like it's a very big book. Like this is the one that I just read, 370. It's quite thick. I have no idea what this book is about, but this is what the back says. Fresh off a bad breakup with a longtime boyfriend, Lisbeth Keaton is desperately seeking for a second act. When she's named the general manager of the Hotel Nantucket, a gilded age... What does that mean? A gilded age gem rescued from neglect, she hopes her local expertise and charismatic staff can win the favor of their new London billionaire owner, as well as that of a popular Instagram tastemaker who can help put them back on the map. And while the renovated Hotel Nantucket appears to be a blissful paradise, complete with a celebrity chef-run restaurant and an idyllic wellness center, there's a lot of drama behind closed doors. The staff and the guests have complicated pasts, and the hotel can't seem to overcome the bad reputation it earned in 1922 when a tragic fire killed 19-year-old Grace Hadley. Is the Hotel Nantucket destined for success or doom? What? Hold on a second. What is going on in this book? It definitely seems that there's gonna be a lot of like side plots going on, and I have no idea how all of this is gonna tie together, because so far we have a girl main character who's going over a breakup and she's like dealing with that. She gets promoted at this job, and then at this job, the staff and also the guests all have secrets, and then on top of all of that, some girl died and is like haunting them. Wait, I did not realize that this had ghosts in it. Is this like magical realism? I guess we'll have to wait and see. It seems interesting for sure. It definitely seems like it's gonna be fast-paced because we have so much to cover. We have a lot of reading to do, so let's get into it. This is so random, but she literally name dropped 3 different Instagram accounts and I'm like wanting to look them up and see if they're real. It's a real person. It's a verified account. That is so crazy. Imagine having your Instagram name dropped in a freaking book. Wow. I have a couple of updates about Hotel Nantucket. I started reading this, and then yesterday I was out for literally like so many hours, just like running around, shopping around, literally living my best life, and I decided to put this book on an audiobook because I was like, oh my god, that could be so fun. I can have the story basically like narrated to my ear, because it's kind of like a thick book, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, since I'm gonna be out, I might as well. But that proved to be maybe a mistake. I don't know what it is. Like, I love audiobooks and I listen to audiobooks, but this book just seems too complex to be an audiobook. Like, if this were like a simple little romance book where it's like, oh, he said this and she said that and then they kissed and lived happily ever after, then that's fine and I can easily like follow that up. But like the way that I was at the stores, kept like kind of zoning out, like to talk to the people, to pay for the items, I'm kind of like lost and confused. I thought I was understanding everything and following along in the story, and I think for the most part I was, but I sat to read this book right now and I'm like, I don't remember the names of like anyone. There's so many people in the story. So you have all the people that work at the Hotel Nantucket, so it's like multiple people that are staff, and then you also have guests from the hotel. They get name dropped like repeatedly, and they have like their own stories and they have their own secrets and they have their own lives and everything like that. You also literally have a ghost, and you know the thoughts of the ghost as well, and it's like past and present timeline, and this is like narrated from like a third person, so it's not even like, oh, this chapter is from this person's perspective and like these are their thoughts and this is how they are and stuff like that. It's all just like kind of like unreliable narrator in a sense, because it seems like the narrator doesn't even like know for sure what's going on. The narrator only tells you what like certain people are thinking in that moment with like no context as to if it's like true. And there's like so much kind of like back and forth. Like you'll hear about something that happened from like one person's perspective, and 20 minutes later they'll go back to that and be like from the other person's like point of view. It's just like kind of all over the place. Very interesting book. There's so many layers to it. There's so many people, like so many characters. I am this far in, like that's like what, a third, probably more than a third of the way in, so I definitely made some progress yesterday. So I'm gonna go back to reading the physical copy for a bit, try to remember where I left off. I'm currently on chapter 12. Guys, it is the next day. I just finished getting ready. We're about to go to a really cool coffee shop here in Miami. Neverland Cafe is what it's called. Super cute. I've been there once before and it's like perfect aesthetic. It's like Peter Pan kind of vibe, and it has a lot of books and it's just like super cute, very unique decor and everything like that. So I figured I would go today and do a little bit of reading. I am about halfway, 51% according to my Kindle. This is the outfit. I'm going for very casual today. I have this tennis skirt that I got from Amazon with this like simple black little top. This is my date. He's wearing a cute little outfit. We're kind of sort of like coordinated. Ooh, okay. And then we have shorts. Let's go. Our food is here. This is what Joey got. A little latte. And this is mine. Hey guys, a little update time. I have officially finished almost half of the books that I'm supposed to be reading for this challenge, and I'm so freaking excited. I finished The Hotel of Nantucket earlier today when I was on a plane. I was coming from Miami to Canada, so I'm back in Toronto, baby. We're just gonna keep it going. So far, my thoughts for Hotel of Nantucket are, it is a very interesting book. I definitely enjoyed it. I think I would rate it maybe like 4 stars just because it wasn't like my ideal type of book, but don't let that deter you from reading it because it was very interesting. There was just like a lot going on, and I feel like when I personally was trying to read it, I was kind of like looking for something a little more passive, something a little more linear. Like usually I read romance books and they follow person A and person B and they meet and then they get together and then they have like third act breakup and then they get back together. Like that's how usually it's like structured. Like there's like one specific problem and then they resolve it. But this one was literally all over the place. There's no main character. Like according to the back you would think that there's a main character, but there's not. So it's basically like this long story about the hotel and all the people that are in it. So like every single person of the staff, 7 to 10 different people, you get to read all about them and like random like things in their day-to-day life. And then on top of that you got to read about people that were staying, like being guests at the hotel. So that's like an extra 5 to 6 other like side characters, but they were literally like all side characters. Like no one was like a main character. They all just like were like talked about and they weren't talked about and they were talked about and they weren't talked about. So like it just like wasn't really like linear, if that makes sense. I was also, like I said, listening to most of it when I was shopping, and then I listened to a lot of it when I was on the plane this morning, and then I was like reading along on my Kindle. You know, maybe if I like sat down and actually like paid more attention, then it would have been easier to kind of understand. But this is not like the type of book that you want to read passively, just because there's so many characters and it's like hard to remember who is who, who's related to who, like the backstory of everybody, because you get to learn about the backstory of literally everybody. It's like all like little puzzle pieces, if that makes sense, because you get like a little bit of the story and then like 20 pages later you get the backstory of like the original thing that was happening but from another person's point of view, and they all have secrets, they're all super sus. So you know, it's just one of those books that you kind of have to pay attention. It was still a really fun read. It was definitely different than things that I've read in the past, which is super fun, obviously. I also started reading The Predator, which is like a dark romance, and I don't normally read dark romances. I am happy to announce that I'm 20% in, but I have it on my Kindle. I don't have the physical copy of this, and it's going really fast. This is like part of, I think, like a 5-book series. This is the first one. Right now we're at the part where everybody's just kind of getting introduced and the dynamic, whole like setup type of thing for the series. It has to be done. It's not my favorite. I also don't normally like slow burn, and I feel like this is gonna be a slow burn, but like I'm impatient. I'm a typical romance girly. They usually get together 30% of the book, they start like liking each other and stuff, so I'm like, get to it already. But you know, this is an enemies to lovers. It's gonna be my first enemies to lovers book, so we'll see how it goes. I really hope I like it. I think I will. Alright, moving on to the next book. I'm taking a recommendation from Yana, and I found her originally on TikTok. Her book recs are so unhinged, and I feel like we have very similar tastes, but she also does like to read darker romances, and I haven't read a dark romance literally ever, I don't think. I think the Mindfuck series kind of counts as a dark romance, but I don't know. This is called The Predator. She has been recommending basically this whole series, and according to her Goodreads, so many of these are 5 stars, and so since this is book 1, I decided to give it a try. I also did want some variety because a lot of the other books are just like more typical cutesy kind of romances, and I feel like I've been reading those for so long. I figured I would take a step in the little dark side and see how I feel about dark romances. If you have suggestions for dark romances, let me know, because I'm definitely open to trying to read more of the genre and just like different genres, I guess. But yeah, this is book 1 of the Dark Verse series. I just fell asleep. The book is so freaking interesting. They're literally enemies, like actual enemies. They're both part of their own like side of the kingdom, and them messing with each other would literally start a war. So it's definitely a little bit higher stakes than my little summer romances that I like to read, but this is cool. Good morning guys, it is a new day, bright and early. I'm actually filming a whole productive vlog for my vlog channel right now, where I woke up at literally 5 in the morning. It is currently 7:30, so after doing a bunch of things, I figured it would be really fun to come to a park and just kind of chill and read. So I am about to read more of The Predator. Not gonna lie, it took me a while to get into the story and figure out if I even like it, but I've gotten to a point where the tension is definitely tensioning. I cannot wait for the enemies to turn to lovers. I'm so excited. The vibes are immaculate. I'm just sitting on this bench. I have a little matching set on because I'm gonna work out after, and let's dig in. On chapter 13. This book has such long chapters. Like this one says 31 minutes left in the chapter. Personally, I love shorter chapters. What about you? Let me know. I feel like 31 minutes of a chapter is literally wild. There's been so many times where I've just had like very little time to read, and I pick it up, I read for like 10 minutes, and then I have to stop like halfway through the chapter, and then I pick it back up and I'm kind of like confused, like what's going on, where are we? But the book is going really quickly. After yesterday we hit like a little major plot point, so now everything's just kind of going kind of fast. Like the beginning of these types of books I feel like is always like kind of slow because they have to explain the politics, who belongs on what side and what the history is, like who's beefing who, like why are the enemies, in order for them to become lovers eventually and have it be like a big reveal. So they spend a lot of time building that up and I'm like, okay, we get it, but like hurry up, can y'all get together already? I'm like 58% of the way and this is kind of like a big book. This is like almost 400 pages, which I guess is like normal for romance. It just feels really long. When it takes me long to finish a book, I tend to rate it lower, versus like if I read a book 2 to 3 days or like 4 days max, like those are the ones that are 4 and 5 stars for me, you know what I mean? So I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice by taking so many breaks, because I feel like this book could be a 4-star type of book if I just focus and read it. Clearing my entire schedule for the rest of the night, like I don't need to do anything else other than read this book. So I'll keep you posted. Hi guys, I've been waiting for a bit. I just took a little shower and I changed and I'm getting ready for bed, even though it's literally still bright outside. I just want to like be comfy and kind of lounge around my room and finish this book. I am 72% of the way done. It is still quite a bit, but I feel like this is the part of the book where everything kind of picks up and everything kind of escalates and everything falls into place and everything gets explained. So usually I tend to kind of speed run the last little bit of the book. I don't know if you can hear this, but it is literally so nice and peaceful out right now. Like there's birds chirping. This is definitely a vibe. Anyways though, I wanted to come here and give an update because I finally finished The Predator. Oh my god, I don't know why it has taken me so freaking long to read a dark romance. First I was kind of nervous because I didn't know what kind of dark romance it was gonna be, because there's like dark romance where they do some like questionable stuff, they're like morally gray, but like they're forever gonna be like loyal and respectful to like the female main character. But then I've heard that there's definitely some other romances where they do like actual like unforgivable stuff. I'm not trying to like name drop every single trigger, but like certain things I just don't think I could look past. And at the beginning, like the little prologue was kind of giving like red flags because I was like, what an interesting opening statement. Thankfully this turned out to be like a nice little mafia romance, which is like stuff that I can usually kind of like get behind in books. Overall I think I loved it. I still want to like give it some time so I can like think on it and make sure that it is actually the rating that I think it is and that I'm not just like super excited about it. But yeah, the ending had me freaking out. So I was reading the book like super late. I'm like literally like laying down in bed reading like this. It's like way past my bedtime and I just sat up and I was like, what? And then I kept reading and I kept reading and I was like, what? I literally had to like go back pages and do a double take to make sure that I read everything right. So overall, I think I would rate the book probably like 4 stars. I think it's like a good introduction to the story. Hello, another day, another book. I just started reading The Right Move by Tom Ford. Oh my god, everyone and their mom has been gassing up this entire series. Not gonna lie, at first I was a little skeptical because I read the first book a few months ago and honestly I just could not freaking get into it. Sarah has rated the whole series pretty high. I think all of her ratings have been 4 or 5 stars. So I was like, yep, that's gonna do it for me. After I read the synopsis, I was like, sign me up. So I was like, let me just get it on my Kindle. I have The Right Move. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I am so fucking obsessed with it. Holy shit. This is the story of Ryan and Indy, and oh my gosh, I am literally obsessed with them. Basically, Ryan is this like super famous basketball player. He's super rich and he is the brother of the main girl from the first book, and he is like basically in his little shell. He's really shy. He doesn't trust people because people have like fucked him over in the past, I guess. I don't know, it hasn't been explained yet, but he like does not trust people. He doesn't open up to anybody. Indy is like his sister's best friend and she is just getting out of like a really messy breakup. The guy, they've been together for like forever and he cheated on her in their bed, so she's like, I'm out. And now she's like struggling financially, trying to save money, and she can't afford to live on her own. Her best friend basically asked her brother, she's like, you're so rich, you have this big ass apartment, like nobody lives here, you're not even here half the time, please let her stay here for like cheap rent. Eventually he agrees, so they're roommates. So they have like a little roommate close proximity trope going on. They're also very like opposites in personality. Very successful obviously and very famous, but he's very shy, like in his shell the whole time, and she is so social butterfly, wants to go out and talk to people. And they basically agree to fake date in front of his coach because something about his coach not thinking that he's like well-rounded or whatever, not having the little like emotional touch that like a woman brings to you. So then he impulsively was like, what do you mean, I have a girlfriend? And he's like, oh yeah, who's your girlfriend? And he's like, oh,
it's her right there. And that's basically the premise of the story, but so far I'm literally obsessed with them. So freaking cute. He's perfect for her. I just like, it's like the little things that he does that really show that he cares about her. I wrote notes. She is a reader, okay? He reads too, but he reads like self-help books, and she reads like romance books and fictional stuff and like, you know, whatever. First of all, iconic duo. A girl that reads romance and then a guy that reads self-help. Like, oh my god, my heart. But she literally like starts talking about her book boyfriends, how he's gonna have to get trained to be basically like a book boyfriend. And I just thought, like, as a reader, that's so fucking fun to read about, because obviously we all have our book boyfriends and we have things that we like about them. Like, I'm literally talking about it right now, so it's like so fun to have the main character also be like a book girly. It's like, oh my gosh, we could be friends like in real life. Like, that is so cool. He literally does like the smallest, most considerate things that like you wouldn't even like think about. Offering to take care of her flowers. Like, she's like, oh, I really like flowers, but I can't take care of them because I travel so much for work and like they would just die. And he literally just offers up to go take care of her flowers while she's gone. And it's like, does he know how to do that? No. Does he care to maintain flowers? No. But he does it because she mentioned that she likes it. Also, she's a vegetarian, and like she's never asked him to buy like vegetarian options for their fridge, but he'll go out of his way to like buy the vegetarian option of things that he eats just in case she feels like having some. Speaking of the book mentions, she is literally on chapter 12. They're talking about some of the books that she's reading, and he's like, oh, what's that book about? And she's like, oh, it's about this girl who breaks up with her shitty ex and then hooks up with her dad. And he's like, oh, sounds interesting. But it's like, it's so funny because I feel like everyone that is a reader that reads romance, like, we all know what book that is. We all know that's Miss Penelope Douglas, and it's like so fucking cool that she can like casually like throw that in there, not even by title, author name, or anything like that, and like immediately I knew like what book she was talking about. It's so fucking cool to have that. It's like we're literally like besties. Like, I know what she's talking about, he has no fucking clue, but I know what she's talking about, girl. It's been so freaking fun, and I'm only 36% in. I'm eating this up. I'm literally obsessed with this book. I'm literally about to drive to the store right now and get the physical copy because I keep tabbing so many things and highlighting so many things on my Kindle, and I just want to freaking tab it. It's such a like really amazing feeling when you find like a book that you really like. So if I like a book, I need to have it as a trophy, you know what I mean? So that's what we're gonna do right now. Let's go. Officially finished reading The Right Move, and let me just say I absolutely adored this book. I love the acts of service in this book. I love their dialogue, their banter, so many of the quotes in here. As you can tell, I tabbed so much of it, and for me that's a direct correlation with how much I like a book, because if it has a lot of tabs, it means I loved it. I started reading this book on my Kindle super impulsively, and then I just knew I was enjoying it so much that before I even finished it, I just ran to the store on the spot and just picked up the physical copy because I knew that I had to have it as a trophy. It was just like that good. Brian, who's the main guy character in this book, has moved up to probably my top 3 book boyfriends of all time. He's just like so sweet, golden retriever energy, will do so many things for her, acts of service, just like such a sweetheart, like genuinely such a sweetheart. And Indy's also really sweet, and I love their banter together, I love their energy together, the dialogue, the little quotes. I underlined so many things in this book, it's not even funny. The entire second half looks like this. I cannot wait to read the rest of the series. This
is a new day and we are officially onto our very last book of this challenge. This book is chosen by Just Ali. This is the book that she chose. I feel like with her books, we have a lot of books that we have in common that we both really love, but I feel like she also has books that she reads that I didn't personally love, so I'm very interested to see how this is gonna go. I have heard amazing things about Butcher and Blackbird, and honestly, based on the synopsis, it seems to be like the perfect book for me. It's like romance mixed with mystery and true crime. I mean, they're both literally serial killers. It says in here that this is a friends to lovers dark romance comedy full of murder, chaos, and sizzling chemistry. And honestly, that just summarizes all the books that I've been reading recently, so I feel like I'm gonna eat this up. I honestly have no idea where the plot is gonna go. I have heard that it's a little bit gore, so like trigger warning if you're planning on reading this, because I've heard it's like quite graphic. I absolutely love when I first start a new book and it just like, it looks so crisp, literally in like pristine, perfect condition. Like no edges are messed up, there hasn't been a crack in the spine at any point. It just looks brand freaking new. The only thing that I hate, that pisses me off beyond measure, is this stupid freaking Target sticker, and I'm trying to like get it out, but it keeps coming out like this. I don't know why we keep doing that. All that aside, I'm very excited to start this. Very interesting read. Obviously, if you read the synopsis, then you know that they're both serial killers, so obviously it's to be expected that it is going to be a little graphic, that it's gonna be a little gore, but it's definitely a little bit on the grosser side. There's some details about the crimes that they're committing. Sometimes it's a little gross. I'm like, okay, that's kind of nasty. I am about halfway done and it's definitely been pretty interesting. This is a friends to lovers. We're definitely still on the friend side of things, which makes it kind of like a slow burn. There's also like time jumps in the timeline of they meet and then they live in different cities, so they go back to their regular lives and then it's like 6 months later. So it's kind of like, I feel like I'm missing a lot of context, and I feel like, as they say, talking every single day for 6 months without meeting up, it's like, what's the holdup? It's kind of like almost like a miscommunication trope where they're obviously both attracted to each other but no one's saying anything, but also like you're grown adults, like you could just fly to see each other. You live in the same country. I don't know why they have to go an entire year between seeing each other. They say the text every single day. If it were me, I'm so quick to jump on a flight for literally nothing even important. Like if my friends are like, oh, do you want to go to LA for a weekend? I'm like, hell yeah. So I can't imagine this being a realistic scenario where they're both obviously attracted to each other and they're both serial killers and they both know it and they like flirt back and forth every day and they text every single day and go and they kill people together, which is like obviously such a like specific niche hobby to have in common. So it's like after all that and like they still haven't made a move, like I don't know, just like I feel like that's not realistic. Why are they not flying to see each other? Like why are they not hooking up yet? Like I'm all for a slow burn, but it just doesn't feel very realistic with this one. Like they're not enemies to lovers, like they're not part of opposite kingdoms or anything like that where it's like they cannot make a move. It's like, grow some balls. Like I don't care about your individual lives, I don't care about your friends, I don't care about your siblings, I don't care about your stupid restaurant. Like I just want to see the couple like be together and interact with each other. So I feel like it's so weird that there's like so many points in time where they're like actually like not spending time together. I'm like, okay, let's hurry up. Don't let that discourage you though. I feel like this story is definitely interesting. It's very unique. I've never read a book about two serial killers getting together and being friends to lovers, so it's definitely like an interesting concept. It's not your typical copy paste that a lot of the other romance books have. I feel like specific tropes, like the plot is literally the same and like it still eat it up every single time, but this is definitely a little bit more interesting. I'm sure the second half at some point they will get together and hopefully they'll have a little bit more of the interaction of the couple and more of them like being together and being in the same city. That might be my problem because like I'm kind of a go-getter. If I like someone, I'm not gonna like sit there for 2.5 or however long it's been at this point, years out making a move. Like that is plenty of time to have some sort of like one-on-one time, a little drunk moment, heat of the moment after you kill people and you've bonded. There definitely should have been like a heart-to-heart conversation at this point, if that makes sense. I just want them both to speed this up. Somebody's gotta make a move soon because I cannot keep reading the same thing and like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, oh my god, he's so cute, oh my god, I want to go visit him but I don't know if he will want me to, oh my gosh, I wish she'd go visit me, I should go visit her but I don't know if she want me to. Like somebody make a fucking move. Like one of you
needs to take charge because we're not getting anywhere. That's how the book is going so far. Reading Butcher and Blackbird, and boy oh boy do I have a lot to say. Obviously I already had a lot to say in my last update, but then there was a whole 180 switch up, and it went from them not even having kissed to them just hooking up non-stop for like a good like 20% of the book. I was like, what is going on? Mind you, it would be my luck that the whole non-stop hooking up was happening when I was on the plane. My boyfriend's sitting right next to me. He's like leaning over my book. He's like, oh, what are you reading? I'm like, oh, it's like a romance book. There's serial killers and like they're flirting and like they're still friends up until this point. They haven't even kissed. So imagine my boyfriend's face when he's just reading all the stuff that they were doing. And if you read this book, you know. If you haven't read this book, let's just say it was some intense stuff. So that was kind of a funny experience, me having to explain to my boyfriend that it's not what it looks like. And this book has literally not even had their first kiss the whole 150, 160, however many pages until he coincidentally started reading. I want to say that I was kind of bored because like at a certain point, like we get it, you guys really like each other and you really want to hook up over and over again. I just wish there was a little bit more of an emotional connection. I like when characters in books have more of an emotional connection instead of a physical one, and this was just like non-stop physical connection. So at that point I almost DNF'd the book, not gonna lie, because I was like, okay, we get it, you guys now got together and you're just like obnoxiously into each other. But then there was a little plot twist and it got to me. I was not expecting that. I did not see that coming, and it piqued my interest once again. It kind of went back to like the main plot of them killing serial killers and that sort of thing. So that was definitely really interesting. It definitely redeemed this book for me because I was legit about to DNF it. So I did really enjoy the ending. It kind of picked up again the plot, it picked up the pace in terms of like things actually happening and the story. So it definitely picked back up the original plot, which was them being serial killers, and it just kind of went back to the original story and kind of kept it moving. So I really enjoyed the ending. But overall, I don't know what I would rate this. I was maybe thinking of rating it 3 stars, which 3 stars sounds so mean, but like I feel like for my rating 3 stars is not bad. Like 3 stars, an okay book if you're interested in these topics and these kind of themes, then I definitely recommend it because you would probably enjoy it. However, it's not quite a 4 star because for me a 4 star is a book that was just like really good. So I think 3 stars is gonna be my final rating, and I really hope I don't break hearts with this one because I know a lot of people really love this. There was parts of it that I really enjoyed, but there was just like parts of it that I was just really bored. I don't know if I should read the second one because I have heard that the second one is not as good as this one, and if this one was already like not the greatest for me, I feel like I would really not enjoy the second one. But I don't know, so let me know if you read it and if you would recommend the second one because then I can definitely pick it up, but I'm just kind of like unsure at this point. So that brings us to the end of this video. I have so many hours of footage of me reading so many books, so please, if you haven't already, drop a like on this video and subscribe to this channel because I post every single week. This was a really fun challenge, getting to read books that other people have rated 5 stars because it kind of got me out of my comfort zone. I get to read books that I normally wouldn't pick up and books that are in genres that I don't typically lean towards, so it was definitely a really good experiment to see what I liked and what I didn't like. I got to read some authors that I've never read before, which is always really cool because now the authors that I know that I enjoyed their books, I have so many more books that I can go pick up. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to do a part 2 where I read other booktubers 5-star reads, or maybe the same booktubers but different books, let me know down below. Also, if you have a book that got you out of a reading slump at any point, please comment that down below because reading slumps, they're rough, they're hard to get out of. I feel like this challenge definitely cured my reading slump that I was in. I'm really excited to go to the bookstore and buy a bunch of new books and do reading vlogs and book recommendation videos and everything like that soon, so stay tuned for that. So that's it for me. If you guys want to be bookish friends, I have all my socials linked down below. I'm very active on Instagram and TikTok. I post almost every single day. Definitely follow me on those for more bookish content. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!